good to be home again. The Tijuana Little Leaguers joining us here at Petco Park after a great third-place finish in the Little League World Series. They're here to watch their big league heroes, Chase Headley and the San Diego Padres. Did a nice job on the road, 6-4 through 3 different cities, but finally back home for that last homestand of the 2013 season. A gorgeous Friday night for baseball. It's game one of a 3-game set between the Padres and the National League West champion Los Angeles Dodgers, who clinched just last night. Great to have you with us alongside my partner, Mark Sweeney. I'm Mike Pomerantz. Mark Grant, Dick Enberg have the night off. So, as we get you ready for what should be an exciting night of baseball, some young faces to talk about in that Dodger lineup in a couple of moments. But what a nice road trip for the Padres. Boy, 6-4. The highlight probably that one-hit shutout from Andrew Kashner just this past Monday against Pittsburgh. But the young guys really chipping in.
Well, tremendous effort by Andrew Kashner. But yes, it's about the young guys and opportunities. And if you look at the opportunities, it's Tommy Medica first, coming up with a big home run against Cliff Lee. That was his first Major League home run, and what a moment for Tommy Medica. And then you go to Jed Jerko, and it's unbelievable what he has done throughout the year. And Jed Jerko is doing it offensively, plus he's doing it defensively. I think he fits very comfortable at second base, making tremendous diving plays, improving his range, and he also is making the spectacular play, let alone the regular play. But if the younger guys are doing it, it's Bert Smith. It's all about on the mound, and Bert Smith threw a gem in the Atlanta Braves start, and Robbie Erlin tonight is definitely improving. He's improving with the fastball command, and his off-speed stuff need to improve just a little bit, but it's about the young guys, and they had a tremendous road trip.
Well, Robbie Erlin is going to get the start tonight. He's going to be facing the former Padre, Edinson Volquez. What a story he has been. Did not pitch himself into great graces here in San Diego. Got another opportunity. Now he's with Los Angeles Dodgers. First time, though, he's going to start against the Padres.
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting start, but a very important start for Edinson Volquez. He is looking for a playoff roster spot for the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's the same thing as for Edinson Volquez, and the reason why he got released from the Padres, it's fastball command and those walks. He's done a much better job with the Los Angeles Dodgers, but this is very important for Edinson.
Hard to believe I'm even saying this, but for Volquez, since becoming a Dodger, just one walk in 16 innings. We'll see what happens tonight. Volquez against Robbie Erlin. When we come back, we're going to talk about the sparkling defense. Kelly Crawl has spoken with a few of the coaches for San Diego. You'll get their assessment of where this team looks to end up this year and ahead into 2014.
2013 season, and what better way to open it up than with a 3-game set against the Dodgers. And as the Padres close out this year and take a look back at some of the numbers and statistics, one area that will definitely stand out as a positive is their defense. Bud Black's club has committed 42 less errors than a season ago, and first base coach Dave Roberts tells us in our Geico quote of the game that is a testament to the work these guys have put in since spring training.
They've always put in the work, really, from spring training from last year to then the year last year where there were some errors, obviously, but even spring training this past year to this season. But I think that it's like, I think as an outfielder, you look at the number and you say, okay, I got a certain amount of errors, and it's a sense of pride. And I think the guys take it upon themselves to kind of throw to the right base, and they're doing a lot of things that don't really show up in the box score. But I think obviously the assists, and then for Dino, and then the lower number of errors, that shows up.
The defense better all around, and tonight the Padres facing a familiar foe as Edinson Volquez is on the mound for the Dodgers. Robbie Erlin making his 8th start against the Dodgers tonight. First pitch will be right after the break.
An absolutely gorgeous night for baseball here in San Diego. We're getting you ready for the final homestand of the 2013 season for your San Diego Padres. Mark Sweeney and Mike Pomeranz in tonight as Mark Grant and Dick Enberg enjoy the evening off after a very successful road trip. 6-4 were the Padres while away from home, and now at home to face the National League West champ, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And tonight's Dodgers lineup brought to you by Hyundai. Looks a little like the Albuquerque Isotopes.
Well, if you look at this lineup, starting with D. Gordon, yes, the reason why they clinched yesterday, and it's kind of the hangover game, and that you have to play this, but this is an important game for the Dodgers. They're still looking for that best record in Major League Baseball, especially the National League.
Give them that home field advantage, you're right. So D. Gordon will lead off, play shortstop, speedster. Jerry Hairston, the former Padres, at third base, he'll bat second. Then Skip Schumacher over at second base. Scott Van Slyke in left field. Tim Fedorovich will catch. Nick Buss is a center fielder. Alex Castellanos will be in right field. Drew Butera is the first baseman, and the former Padre, Edinson Volquez, will pitch, and they'll face the left-hander, 22-year-old Robbie Erlin.
Well, here's the scouting report brought to you by Jaguar of San Diego. Work fastball down in the zone And strike one, very important for Robbie Erlin. He has to pitch off the plate, and you have to do that with strike one.
So it'll be Gordon, Hairston, and Schumacher to face Erlin. Erlin quickly ahead with strike one. Gordon's numbers in 33 games in the big leagues this year, 238 with a homer and 6 RBIs.
That's what Robbie wants to do, work down in the zone. When you get strike one, you can pitch off the plate. And Robbie has to do that. He has to nibble on the corners and change speeds.
Bounce back up the box and into center field, so Gordon wraps an 0-2 pitch back up the middle for a base hit. Here's the Padre defense tonight, brought to you by the Aramco Group. Kyle Blanks gets the start in left field. Will Venable in center. Kristen Orphy in right. Around the horn, it'll be Chase Headley, Ronnie Cedeno, Jed Jerko, and Tommy Medica playing in his 10th ball game with the Padres, but his first here at Petco Park. Nick Hundley is behind the plate, catching Robbie Erlin.
There's Tommy Medica. Outstanding road trip. And I like that he got his first big league taste on the road. A big home run against Cliff Lee.
Well, no question Gordon can go over there at first base. Hard to believe. You take a look at Jerry Hairston, who is now 37 years old. And D. Gordon is just 25. Was their opening day shortstop last year.
Well, plenty of tools for D. Gordon, but he has to harness those tools. But speed is definitely his plus.
Off speed, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Don Mattingly's Dodgers celebrating in Arizona. The big win last night. A lot of controversy surrounding the after party, which we'll get to later on. Adrian Gonzalez and some of the veterans taking the day off.
Well, you see a strong bench over there tonight.
There goes Gordon. And the throw down from Hundley. Not in time. And Gordon does what Gordon does. Steals a bag and it's a runner in scoring position for the Dodgers early.
Well, let's take a look at Nick Hundley. I want him to come out of the box and throw that because Jerry Hairston just drops down as a hitter. Watch Jerry Hairston. He goes down. If he impedes that throw to second base, you could possibly get an out. But you see Nick Hundley almost recoils on that throw. Continue on.
2 balls and a strike to Hairston. Distant foul. So Don Mattingly and the Dodgers are in, and now they begin to shape their roster thoughts toward the postseason. 2-2. That ball ripped to left field, but Blanks gloves it easily. 1 down.
A nice first step by Kyle Blanks. Jerry Hairston lines that to left. He's probably upset with himself. He wanted to move the runner. You don't move it, hit it to left field.
That'll bring up one of the other veterans in the lineup, of which there are very few. Skip Schumacher comes in at 268 in 118 games.
Well, something to watch tonight with Robbie Erlin, especially against left-handers. They've had huge success against the left-hander, and I think it has a lot to do with that outer edge, pitching away to the left-handed hitters.
Schumacher had come over from the Cardinals and gives Don Mattingly a lot of versatility. It'll be interesting to see, though, how he figures into the postseason world.
Well, he can play second base. He can play the outfield. He's an ideal National League guy.
0-1. Erlin knocks it down. No play at third. Takes the easy out. Retires Schumacher. 2 down. So yesterday in Arizona, the big news for Dodger fans. Schumacher would glove the final out. Dodgers come over the railing. They celebrate at Chase Field in Arizona. Inside the clubhouse, the champagne flowing, and then about an hour or so afterward, they take a dip in the pool at Chase Field.
And that's been the subject of conversation all over baseball today.
Scott Van Slyke. Matt Kemp with the day off. Fragile veterans, though, physically right now. They put together such a wonderful run for that organization the back half of the year, but they're giving them a little bit of a breather tonight.
Well, health is a major issue moving forward for the Los Angeles Dodgers. See Adrian Gonzalez.
Saw him out before the game saying congratulations to those Tijuana Little Leaguers.
Well, he was in constant communication with those Little Leaguers and saw their eyes light up when they saw Adrian come over and sign autographs, spend some time with him. Congratulations to the Tijuana Little League.
That was a heck of a run. Third place finish in the Little League World Series.
Life-changing moments.
East Lake Little Leaguers were in there in the last homestand being recognized as well. So congratulations to both clubs. Oh, those great families who support them. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. D. Gordon on third base. And Van Slyke's aboard with a walk. First one of the night issued by Early. Yonder Alonso visiting those Tijuana Little Leaguers as well. Yonder nursing a bit of a sore hand, and the guy's just saying, hey, thanks for all you do. Maybe you could aspire at some point to be in the big league organization yourself. But in the meantime, boy, just 12, 13 years old. What a moment.
Yeah, what moment. They got to take batting practice on the field, but it's meeting those big leaguers and being around them and fulfilling those dreams moving forward.
Here's Tim Fedorovich. Fedorovich splitting time with A.J. Ellis behind the plate. 242 hitter, 4 home runs.
Well, they like this young man. Typical backup to A.J. Ellis. He's done a nice job. This is an opportunity for a lot of these young men to get much needed bats and push for that playoff roster. We'll talk about that later, Mike, but when they know they're going into the playoffs, it's an all-out sprint to try to get on that roster. Fedorovich will be the backup catcher. But for these other young men, there's nothing like it.
Fedorovich, their best catching prospect. So he can handle the glove. He's ahead 2 balls now and 1 strike. So for Robbie Erlin, he's coming off a tough loss to the Braves. He went 6 innings, allowed just 2 runs. Pitched very well. He's got runners at the corners here in the first with 2 out.
Well, Mike, if you see Robbie Erlin, I mean, his misses are up. His misses are a little over the plate. We saw D. Gordon with the 0-2 pitch, hitting the ball up the middle. These are some of the things that he has to get much better and refine to take him to that next level. That's what Bud Black and Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, are looking for.
Fedorovich swings through pitch number 20 in the inning, and the count is now full.
There's Bud Black and Darren Balsley evaluating Robbie Erlin.
And he gets it there. Fedorovich thought he had ball 4. But home plate umpire Bill Miller thought otherwise. So no damage by the Dodgers. Padres coming up. brought to you by your San Diego County Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a luxurious Lexus automobile today. By Petco, where the healthy pets go. By Farmers Insurance. Contact your local agent at 888-96-FARMERS. And by Jack in the Box. Go big at a participating Jack in the Box with Jack's really big chicken sandwich combos. So Robbie Erlin escapes a little bit of pressure in the top of the first inning. The Padres now coming to bat to face Edinson Volquez, former Padre, as we check out the Padres lineup this evening, brought to you by Toyota. Will Venable will lead off, play center field. Chris Denorfia will bat second. He'll be in right field. And Jed Jerko will hit in the 3 spot. Chase Headley, Tommy Medica, Kyle Blanks, Ronnie Cedeno, Nick Hundley, and Robbie Erlin. So here's a strange sight for Padres fans, getting to see Edinson Volquez.
Well, difficult challenge. If you think about it, it's a lot of information. You've watched Edinson Volquez through his ups and downs. Interesting to see the approach by the San Diego Padres tonight. Do they wait him out, or they attack that fastball?
Well, as we mentioned, Edinson Volquez is pitching right now for his postseason life, as Don Mattingly and Dodger Blue look to shape their roster. And Volquez, he's getting some consideration. Might be out of the bullpen. He's 0-1 in 3 starts for LA since going over.
Mike, we always talk about the stuff, and Edinson Volquez has 3+ pitches. It's all about harnessing that command. And for Los Angeles Dodgers, they want to see that command. Rick Honeycutt, that we just saw, the pitching coach for the Dodgers, right there. It's his chance to work on him during the bullpens, and Don Mattingly's opportunity to evaluate Edinson Volquez for the playoffs.
And Volquez sharp on Venable, called strike 3. First out, Padres half of the first.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Edinson Volquez, and it's all about the first 3 innings. That'll tell the story for Edinson Volquez, if he has command or not, and how much he uses his fastball. He falls in love with his changeup, he falls in love with his breaking ball, but all year I haven't seen all 3 working at the same time.
Chris Denorfia takes strike 1. But Denorfia, nice series in Pittsburgh, 4 for 9. In a comfortable spot for him in Buddy Black's lineup. He says likes hitting second, especially the way Will Venable has been hitting recently. Chance to maybe move a runner over, but good bat handler, says Buddy Black, and that's why Dino is in the 2-hole tonight. He'll be followed by Jed Jerko. So Volquez is 9-10 in 27 starts for the Padres. Has now 17 strikeouts in 17 innings for the Dodgers. Bouncing ball to Gordon at short. Long throw off the bag. And that'll get away. Kick up into the seats. And Chris Denorfia will head to second base.
Like we talked about D. Gordon and the talent that he has, the tools that he has, but take a look at how he positions himself to make this throw. Then the transfer, the throwing is a strong arm, but it's not accurate. You have to be accurate and make those plays in the big leagues. D. Gordon does not do it consistently, and that's the frustrating thing for Don Mattingly and his staff. This young man has traumatic work ethic. It's very good, but you don't understand the consistency is definitely not there for that young man.
Well, you talk about it all the time. You got to make the routine play as you check out the most errors this season in the National League. There are the Dodgers at 106 now. Only the Brewers with their 110 have more. Padres with a nice year defensively. They have 78, 4th best in the National League. And Volquez quickly ahead of Jerko.
Well, Mike, a lot of people are picking the Dodgers because of their pitching and also their bench in this playoff race, but I think their nemesis is the defense, and those stats definitely bear that.
No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. DeNorfia at second base. You know, we talked about it, Mark, in the open, too, whether the Dodgers are truly evaluating statistics when they look at Edinson Volquez, or they're trying to just look at the man and see, can he help us? Can he get ready quickly out of the bullpen? Can he throw strikes?
Well, I think that's the key. You have to throw strikes. You have to be consistent. We constantly talk about the mannerisms for Edinson Volquez. You're going to see intensity tonight. Edinson Volquez goes up and down with the intensity. He likes to have fun with this game.
There goes Dino. No throw. Well, Fedorovich popped up. He didn't have a shot at all. And Norfia goes in and puts the Padres in a good opportunity for a sacrifice fly. Bring home a run.
Oh, great jump by Chris DeNorfia. There's a lot of knowledge in the San Diego Padres dugout, and they're going to take full advantage of the weaknesses by Edinson Volquez. Mike, he's been scouted all year. Take a look at Dave Roberts, first base coach, but also the base running coach. He wants a lot of it. Rick Renteria, they do a lot of work, analysis on moves, times to the plate, taking advantage of the weaknesses of the opposition.
Dodger defense pretty well straight away. Matt Kemp and his teammates.
Well, they have to get Matt Kemp healthy. Got ankle problems, the knee. That's an MVP caliber player.
Roller to Jerry Hairston. He'll go to first. There'll be a play at the plate. It's going to be close. Not in time as DeNorfia gets in ahead of the tag. Boy, that was really close. Drew Butera's got a good arm at first base. He's a regular catcher. Fires a strike to Fedorovich, but not in time to get DeNorfia.
Now we talk about the little things in the game that Chris DeNorfia does. Take a look at this read. I think Jerry Hairston bobbling this ball had a lot to do with it because he had to rush to throw to first base. Butera tries to throw home. Great slide by Chris DeNorfia. Almost a toe pick on the plate. Take another look at this play. Butera at first throws a strike home, but a picture perfect slide with that left foot.
Ooh, it was close, very close. Chase Headley. So the error by D. Gordon proves costly early. Chris DeNorfia bouncer that Gordon threw into the seats on a hop. Moved DeNorfia to second. He'd steal third. And come home on the bouncer.
We saw Chase Headley on the road trip. I thought he's made some great adjustments. I think the timing is there. The power's there. Chris DeNorfia. Dirty uniform. That's a shocker. Well, I think we're seeing some solid at-bats by Chase Headley. And I think you're seeing less foul balls. And that has a lot to do with his timing.
I know you were watching that a lot when they were on the road, and Headley was 11 for 35. It's a 314 clip, but he had 3 home runs. Consecutive games on the road. 3-1.
He's been handling that pitch in a lot better. That breaking ball down and in has given him problems all year long. Even fouling it off gives you another opportunity to hit a mistake. Talked about Edinson Volquez. Buddy Black looks on. He likes the effort from Chase Headley. These guys are not going to give up, no matter what position they're in.
And Chase draws the walk. That's just the second one allowed by Volquez since becoming a Dodger. As we check out the Dodger defense, brought to you by Hyundai this evening. Scott Van Slyke is in left, and Nick Buss in center field. Alex Castellanos is in right field. Jerry Hairston Jr., the third baseman. D. Gordon at shortstop. Skip Schumacher at second. Drew Butera over at first. Tim Fedorovich is catching Edinson Volquez tonight. D. Gordon is chewing over his earlier error that has led to a Padres run. Here's Tommy Medica, his first at bat here at Petco.
It's got to feel good to put those home whites on for Tommy Medica. I've been impressed with this young man at the beginning. He's taken some nice swings, gets long at times. You'll see some foul balls off him, but he's competed in the batter's box, and I think the at-bats as a whole have been pretty consistent.
Well, showing some good power, a couple of home runs. This is Edinson Volquez that we have seen in a Padre uniform now at 23 pitches already. He's got a walk and a strikeout.
Well, interesting tidbit. Going to Colorado when he had a spot start in Colorado for the Dodgers, he talked about he was tipping pitches, which means he's telling basically the hitters what he's throwing. You know, I don't really believe that. I think mechanically there's a lot of challenges in Edinson Volquez's delivery, his consistency with his fastball command, and I don't think he throws his fastball enough. Plus velocity and the ball strike ratio, as you can see, not good enough.
Well, Padres fans know the tale. You got to get to Edinson early, because if he does figure it out, his stuff is electric.
He has good arm speed on the changeup. He's got a good breaking ball. But if you get ahead fastball command and have all three of those pitches, he can be a dominant pitcher on any given night.
Ball and 2 strikes to Medica. I guess it's just so much patience any organization can have, and that's why I think you start seeing, right, all of these guys with big arms and electric stuff move from organization to organization. Certainly Volquez not the first, but the Padres clearly the most recent. Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, working with him, but just could not right the ship.
Oh, right there. The amount of respect that we have for Darren Balsley. Listen, I'm not a pitcher, but how much time Darren Balsley puts in, and you have 2 pitching coaches here in Bud Black and Darren Balsley. Communication, they're constantly communicating, and it was a frustrating project for Edinson Volquez here.
Does he go? Oakland umpire Bill Miller says he does not.
You can see that longer swing by Tommy Medica. That looked like he went.
Nobody asked for help, so it's a ball, 2 strikes. This will be the 27th pitch of the inning.
He might have called a foul ball on that.
Yeah, I think he did.
A lot of chirping from the Los Angeles Dodgers dugout.
Ball bounded. Gordon will get another shot. He'll go to second the short way, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. But the Padres, on some nice hustle baseball by Kristen Orfia, pick up a run. They lead the Dodgers after 1.
Padres have a 1-0 lead, and Chris Denorfia picked up his 11th assist of the season yesterday in Pittsburgh. And this is a guy who, of course, first base coach Doc Roberts just raves about, saying, you know, he is so good at reading those in-between hoppers, and he thinks that by keeping the glove soft, the transition is seamless to his throw, and he said that is something that is very hard to read. And Mark Sweeney, you were talking about it earlier, it's those routine plays that Chris Denorfia does so well, always finding the cutoff man or whatever it is, and he's certainly shown off his defensive skills this season.
You're right, Kelly, and he takes a lot of pride in his work, and especially with Dave Roberts before the game, during band practice, very routine oriented by Chris Denorfia. That's how he's had to stay in the game of baseball, and he does everything possible to be better and better every single day. It's very difficult to move positions throughout, and Dave Roberts does a tremendous job as well.
Nick Buss, bouncing ball to second. 1 down. You talk about his defensive prowess. Saw it again yesterday with his 11th assist.
And I think that transfer is outstanding. He takes a quick crow hop, as you can see the tag by Nick Hundley. You got to have both facets on both ends, and I think Chris Denorfia understands the importance of playing defensively. But getting back to that, Mike, moving position in different angles, very difficult in the outfield, and he makes it look very easy out there.
Tied for 5th in the National League when it comes to assists by outfielders. Alex Castellanos with 1 down here in the top of the 2nd inning.
Now this young man plays in AAA. They got him from the St. Louis Cardinals. A lot of power, but he struggles with plus velocity guys. And you always hear the slider speed bat. Well, this young man, and breaking balls in the strike zone, he can do some damage with. Has a tough time with those fastballs.
Well, you know, as you've spent part of your career also evaluating talent, I mean, this is a young man who, I use the term young in terms of real life, but in baseball, he's 27, so you're going to make a decision on a guy like this, I'd imagine, pretty soon as he rolls this ball to third base. It's a fair ball. Headley over to Medica in time. 2 down.
Well, what makes this play tough is Chase Headley having to maneuver near the third base bag. Take a look at his stride, and he has to play it over the bag and continue that momentum going into the dugout and throw across his body. That's a Gold Glove play. Castellanos wants it safe. Umpire wants him out.
I don't think Castellanos really has to weigh in on that much beyond the guy in blue. Drew Butera.
You've seen Robbie Erlin locate down in the strike zone a lot better this inning compared to the first inning.
Butera is a light hitting catcher who's playing first base tonight. He's got time in the big leagues, though, with the Twins. Very good defender.
I'll talk to the AAA manager before the ball game. Lorenzo Bundy, who is here on the Don Mattingly staff, talks about Butera and calling a great game as a catcher. He's filling in tonight at first base because of injury reasons.
Nice pitch by Robbie Erlin. He'll freeze Butera for the 3rd out of the inning. The Dodgers go in order. The Padres lead 1-0. Granter off this evening. Don Mattingly, in his third season, thought he was supposed to be fired after the second month of the year. Well, here's the cold hard fact brought to you by Frostbrewed Coors Light. The Dodgers are the third team in Major League history to be in last place on July 1st and then win their division. They joined the 73 Mets and the 95 Mariners. Many in baseball that thought Don Mattingly would not be long for that job as Kyle Blanks greets Edinson Volquez. Bottom of the second inning with a long fly ball for the first out.
Well, you're right, Mike, and a lot of people were talking the second series of the season down here in San Diego about Don Mattingly losing his job if they didn't play well. They were playing an uninspired baseball. It's not Don Mattingly's fault. He'll take blame because he's a player's manager. He's a communicator. Been around him. He learned a lot from Joe Torre, the expectations. But they've had to deal with a lot of injuries, and it's a lot easier with a $200 million plus payroll to handle those injuries. But tough start to the season, but a great finish for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well, after the All-Star break, the Dodgers are 41-18 as Edinson Volquez deals to Ronnie Cedeno. As we mentioned, the Dodgers were in last place. Follow this on June 21st. Last place, 9.5 games out. Beat the Padres on June 22nd. And then over the next 56 games would go 46-10.
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with Hanley Ramirez. Yasiel Puig came on. Well, that's one of those things that if you look at the consistency, Don Mattingly has to get credit for that. I don't know how much he's going to get in the voting for Manager of the Year, but tremendous turnaround for this ball club.
Hey, you kind of wonder if those voters will just say, well, how could you not with that payroll and those stars? Ball, 2 strikes. And down goes Cedeno. Second strikeout of the night for Volquez. Second out of the inning.
Let's take a look at this location. Big zone tonight by Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, and that catches the top corner of the strike zone. If you're in the dugout, you've already taken at bats. Time to be aggressive. So home plate umpire Bill Miller has a big strike zone tonight. He wants people to swing the bats. That's going to be the advantage for Edinson Volquez. There's Bill Miller. And I don't say that. There's nothing wrong with that, Mike. From the home plate umpire's perspective, 14 years in the big leagues, but there's certain umpires you understand that have bigger zones. Be aggressive. Swing the bat. They're going to be for both sides.
Now here's an interesting matchup. Nick Hundley against Edinson Volquez. Pretty sure Nick knows what to expect from Edinson.
Seen a lot of pitches. But he hasn't seen it from the batter's box. That's the difference.
You think Nick Hundley gets in a situation here where he almost outguesses himself when he's trying to figure out what Volquez might throw?
I think you don't want to get in the thinking game, especially with Nick Hundley and all the Padre hitters. You have to be aggressive with that fastball. Try to take something away. Talked about earlier, Mike. Edinson Volquez hasn't had all 3 pitches throughout the year. He's had 2 of them, and he can get away with it. But you got to be aggressive on the fastball and take something away. Try to eliminate that pitch he's having a tough time throwing for a strike.
Well, Nick Hundley guessed right if he guessed at all, and lines that one sharply to center field. Changeup turns it around, and with 2 outs, Nick Hundley's aboard with a hit. No, no, he says, you shall not fool me. I've caught you too many times.
Well, sometimes you can be off balance, throw the barrel to the ball, and get great results. This is a changeup down, a pitcher's pitch. Nick Hundley does a nice job using the middle of the field.
Here's the pitcher, Robbie Erlin.
So funny, Mike. You battle to try to have perfect mechanics hitting-wise, and you can be totally off balance and get a hit, and that's a good feeling, I tell you that.
Well, you guys in the batter's box deserve it once in a while, right? I mean, think how many times you do everything properly, hit a ball right on the screws, and it's right at somebody.
And they don't even out. So many times you hear that. It evens out. It doesn't even out.
Pitchers will tell you it does.
Oh, yeah. Our good friend Mark Grant will probably tell us that.
Grant's so humble, he'll tell you it was lopsided the other way. Ball to strike to Erlin. Now there's that face and that body language we've seen before from Edinson Volquez, a look up in disgust.
You know, and that's a concern. When you get released from a ball club, you almost have to be on your best behavior. And for Edinson Volquez, he does not want to show that to Don Mattingly or Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach. Here's Rick. He's trying to evaluate the mechanics of Edinson Volquez. Try to unlock that talent.
See, I think that's the million-dollar question. You might think about bringing him into the postseason, but boy, you don't have 500 pitches to figure it out when you're called in from the bullpen.
Now, and the bullpen sessions mean more.
2-2. Third baseman Hairston. So how about that? The Padres pick up a run on no hits in the first, get a hit in the second, but don't score.
Dodgers is Edinson Volquez, a guy who Nick Hundley caught for a year and a half and has nothing but great things to say about.
You know, he was great. I mean, a good teammate, always came every day, ready to go. Gave us everything he had, you know. You always wish guys like that well. You don't never want to see somebody fail. You know, I wish I did a better job catching him. I wish I did a better job. I could have gotten, better results when I caught him, stuff like that, But fortunately, caught on in a good situation, and hopefully, he does well for himself.
And I have to watch this interaction right here. Edinson just tapping Nick Hundley on the head right there, saying, "Here we go." And Nick said, "You bet I'm going to razz him when he gets up there." He goes, "Make fun of that swing." He's not going yard tonight, guys. We saw that one time, and that'll be it.
Well, Nick Hundley got the better of that conversation earlier. He got a single off him in the second inning, so it's 1-0 Padres, 1-0 Hundley over Volquez. But Volquez flails that one out to right field. One down.
I think Edinson Volquez is probably asking Nick Hundley for a fastball.
Least you can do for an old friend.
A great smile. We miss Edinson Volquez. You could see the slap on the helmet. I gave you a single, now give me a fastball.
You know, in that equation, too, is 22-year-old Robbie Erlin, who's not about granting favors.
No, exactly right.
So Volquez is out, and D. Gordon is in. He'll be followed by Jerry Hairston. Padres lead 1-0, top of the third inning. Gordon singled at an 0-2 pitch, and he'll square and foul it away.
Well, Mark Loretta's down there next to the dugout, and Mark wanted to ask you, facing an old teammate of yours, you ever done that, and how hard is it?
Well, I've done it many times, Swains, just like you've done it. But you're talking about Nick Hundley catching Edinson Volquez, and take it from Brad Ausmus, is a lot different catching somebody and actually trying to hit him as well.
Yeah.
Bouncer, Erlin, Medica, 2 down.
I think Robbie Erlin has to be careful flipping that ball over to first base, especially with D. Gordon getting down that plus speed.
You know, we talked about that in the instructional.
Well, take a look at D. Gordon, makes it very close. The young man's trying to get back to the big leagues and stay here, and how he does that is hustling.
Jerry Hairston. I mentioned we talked about it in the instructional, and that's exactly your point. It's like, hey, when you're a pitcher, you grab the ball, you know you have some time, but don't lollygag.
Yep, that makes you a lollygagger.
Can cost you.
I love where Robbie Erlin's at right now. His fastball command is down in the zone. He looks comfortable in and out. Starting to get in that rhythm. See from our Fox Tracks by Southland Technology, both edges of the plate and down.
Nice pitch. Hairston swings right through the breaking ball. A 7-pitch inning for the youngster. Will Venable, Kristen Orpheus, Jed Jerko when we come back.
Last night in Arizona as they clinched the NL West, and hey, what better way to celebrate than in the pool, right, at the visitor's house? Well, that's our AT&T Twitter poll question night. We want to know what you think of the Dodgers celebrating in the pool. You can vote on Twitter by using the following hashtags: hashtag pool uncool, being that it was disrespectful and unprofessional, or pool fun, all in good fun. Hey, they were excited. We'll give you the results later in the show, but Sweeney and Mike, I want to hear what you guys think about this.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have seen a few controversies like you over the way a team celebrates their plays versus your plays, and this one is really lighting up the baseball world.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are talking about this and wanted to drop down to Mark Loretta and get your thoughts, Mark, on that and this celebrating after you win a division.
Are you ducking the question, Sweens?
No, not at all. I
on.
have a lot of opinions on this.
All right, I'll go first. I didn't have a big problem with it, particularly if the reports are true that we're hearing around the batting cage that members of the Diamondback front office had told the Dodgers to please not celebrate on their field. That's part of the game. You play all those games. If the Diamondbacks didn't want the Dodgers to celebrate, they should have won the game, in my opinion.
Agreed. And I think if you look at the situation, when you win a division, it's almost an out-of-body experience, you know, and you become a young kid in the game. You understand the time you put into it to win a division championship, and there's more things to do, but you celebrate.
I don't think the Padres would have been upset if they would have rolled around in the sand pit out in right
No, they
center,
just would have been upset with the uniforms having to wash them.
There you go.
Sand in them. And plus the sand structure probably would have been hurt.
Venable flips this ball into shallow right. It'll fall for a base hit. And the Padres have the leadoff runner aboard. So we want you to weigh in on that Twitter poll if you get a shot at it. Love to hear what you think. Do you think that Dodgers celebration in the Diamondback swimming pool was cool or not? If you thought it was uncool, go hashtag pool uncool. Or if you thought it was fine, hashtag pool fun.
I'll tell you another dynamic of that is that there were also injured players that they're worried about for the Dodgers that were in that pool celebration. And that's a concern. But, you know, moving forward, it's a celebratory game. In 1998, when you pop champagnes with your teammates, it's very exciting. There's a lot of energy that goes through you. And the time that you put in to try to win a championship together.
Here's Gordon. Second for one. Across the first. Pulls his foot. And Drew Butera unable to make the tag on Denorfia. So he is safe. You know, we're thinking about that. And Brandon McCarthy, get to that thought in a second as we watch the replay there on Denorfia hustling out of the box.
Yeah, he came up limping here. Let's take a look. Yeah, he rolls his ankle on the bag, his right foot. Let's take a look at the turn and then the right foot on the bag. It rotates out. Now, that's not a good feeling when you catch that outer edge and you see the throw. The throw took him on that outside of the bag. It's going to be interesting to see, monitoring that later on, if he stays in the game. And he's going to try to stay in the game. You know Chris Denorfia will.
And they'll have to drag Denorfia off the field. So we'll keep an eye on the ankle. Chris looks to be fine. You know, just to finish up that thought on the pool celebration, and that was Brandon McCarthy, one of the pitchers for the Arizona Diamondbacks, tweeted that he was fine with it. Well, and I know not everybody in that Arizona dugout felt the same way.
No, there's a lot of people that had a lot of problems with it. Well, Mark's right. You know, how you can deal with that is win more ball games and don't let them win on your turf. That's a lot of pride. You play 162 games. Take a lot of pride in no one's celebrating on your own field.
Jed Jerko working a 5-game hitting streak. Had about 2/3 of West Virginia going to the series in Pittsburgh, and he did not disappoint.
No, he had solid at bats. Looks like he's locked in. More walks he's taking. Jed Jerko is expected to drive more runs in, and he's doing a much better job at that from the 3 spot in the order.
Jed in that 4-game set, Pittsburgh 6 for 14, a home run, 4 RBIs. Some sterling defense as well. I talked to him before the game, and he said, you know, frankly, I was worn out. Because of the time he spent with family and friends before and after each game, then having to perform. He said, you know, it was great to see him, but good to kiss him goodbye, too.
Mike, we're very oriented, you know, where you have to be scheduled as a baseball player to a fault. And then when you don't have that, and you have a lot of family, friends, you got to spend a lot of time, it takes away from your routine. But Jed Jerko definitely looked very comfortable in front of his hometown group.
Here's the 3-0 to Jed. And he takes ball 4, getting a little more patient at the plate.
You know, there's nothing wrong with taking a strike. You know, I'm starting to figure it out a little bit to the point where I'm trying to only swing at the pitch that I really want to hit, that a pitch that I can do some damage on. And you know, there's nothing wrong with walks. You know, I've said that before, but it's just a part of just laying off those pitches that are out of the zone. You know, the walks are just as good as singles.
Well, Mike, you always see the routine that you put into, but also having a plan at the plate. Mark Loretta, wanted to ask you too, with Jed Jerko and you being a former second baseman, having solid at bats and having an approach at the plate, very important, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And I think Jed has been very patient throughout his career in the minor leagues. And I think when you get to the big leagues, sometimes swings, you try to press and do a little bit too much. And I think Jed may have fallen into that early. Now he's gotten comfortable. He's gotten his feet under him, so to speak. And I think he's doing a better job of being patient.
And Mark, do you like him in the 3 spot? You know, you see Bud Black pushing him, and yes, this is a rookie, but he's in the 3 hole. It's a lot of pressure.
It's a big compliment to him. I think, you know, ideally he would probably be down a little bit in the order for me, you know, in some RBI situations. Ideally, you know, you'd like to have that 3-hole hitter, you know, maybe have a little bit higher average and hit for a little bit more power, but I think Jed will do that eventually.
So Jed aboard with his 29th walk of the year. Here's Chase Headley after a conversation on the mound. And Chase goes past. Whoa, what a play. Skip Schumacher. Thought they'd get by him, but he cuts it off and throws out Headley. Well, he's not taking a day off after the celebration. Schumacher leaving his feet. Nice play.
Now, Mike, we talk about Chris Denorfia for the Padres. Well, Skip Schumacher diving to his left and making a tremendous play. Ball's hit hard in the hole and laying out.
Nobody appreciates a play like that, I'm sure, more than Mark Loretta, making his living as an infielder. Here's Tommy Medica. Chance to drive in some runs with 2 outs, add to this Padre lead.
Tommy came up with a 2-out RBI yesterday, the only run for the Padres. But he's in an RBI situation here. I like that right center approach for Tommy. It shortens his swing, lets the ball travel a little bit longer.
Tommy's seeing that big league pitching now as you see the Dodgers defensive set. Night in, night out. No breaks for the hitters. Chris Denorfia at third, Jed Jerko at second.
Well, the base of at bats, you are now scouted, and they're going to start working on your weaknesses.
But Volquez now preparing to deliver his 57th pitch. And it's only the 3rd inning.
And now he's fighting himself. You can see it. It's what we've seen in a Padre uniform. The frustrations and the thoughts of Edison Volquez.
Three balls and a strike to the rookie. And Medica's aboard. 2nd walk of the inning issued by Volquez.
Well, this summer, the Tijuana Xolos took over Petco Park during the San Diego Clasico. And tomorrow night, when your Padres take the field against the Dodgers at 5:40, the first 25,000 fans will be able to cheer on both the Padres and the Xolos with a unique soccer scarf. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at Padres.com. And I know I said that wrong, but I have a beautiful scarf. What do you think?
I think on you it works.
Wow.
I like that. Like the logo.
What do you think, Mark Loretta?
Looks great, buddy.
Should I wrap it around my neck?
Chihuahua?
That's a strong play.
Or is it a coyote on your neck?
You never know.
You know, maybe tomorrow you try it with the tank top.
I know I said that wrong, so I apologize.
No, it's scarf.
I wish it said scarf.
See you as more of an ascot man. Kyle Blanks Bases loaded, and Edinson Volquez on the ropes. His team's hit close to 300 against him with runners in scoring position this season.
They'll jump the ERA up there.
Blanks himself hits 338 in situations like this. And with 2 outs, Kyle hits 262. Norfia, Jerko, and Medica aboard for the Padres. Lead 1-0. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Lifted in the infield. Utero will call for it, but Schumacher will take it for the 3rd out of the inning. Bases loaded, but the Padres can't score. They lead 1-0. You know, real friendly, real close. By Mossy Toyota, thousands of vehicles, one trusted name. Visit Mossy.com. And by the Aramco Group, purchase, refinance, reverse. Hispanic Heritage Night here at Petco. This is game 1 of a 3-game series between the Padres and the National League West champions, Los Angeles Dodgers. Padres up 1-0. Top of the 4th inning. It'll be Schumacher, Van Slyke, and Fedorovich to face Robbie Erlin.
There you can see Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach for Los Angeles Dodgers, working on the mechanics and the thought process of Edinson Volquez. Yeah, good location with the fastball. Mark Loretta, how impressed are you with Robbie Erlin fastball command tonight?
Yeah, I think again, Swings, he's getting used to the big league environment and really settling down here, hitting his spots. That's key for him, fastball command. It's a little overwhelming as a 22-year-old to come to the big leagues and, you know, pitch in this type of environment. I think once you get a few starts under your belt, it's much easier.
Schumacher will knife that one into left field corner. He'll try for a double. He'll get it easily. And the Dodgers, their leadoff man in scoring position.
Just good piece of hitting by Skip Schumacher, staying inside the baseball, hitting it right down the line. Great shot right there. Nothing you can do from Chase Headley's standpoint, but good job. getting that ball in and hustling around. Kyle Blank's doing a nice job in left field playing that carom. Not easy.
So Schumacher with his 15th double of the season. And here is Andy Van Slyke's son, Scott. Up and down a bunch with the big club. It's a tough outfield to crack.
And definitely moving forward.
A mile high. Headley and Hundley will give it a look. It's back in the seats.
Well, you look at that outfield and it looks great right now. You have Matt Kemp trying to get healthy. Andre Ethier trying to get healthy. Yasiel Puig. They have a tough time keeping him out of the lineup. And you have Carl Crawford. Hanley Ramirez, probably the MVP of their team offensively. There's the pitching MVP. Clayton Kershaw.
Ball and a strike to Van Slyke.
Well, I think, Mike, if you look at it from Don Mattingly's standpoint, it's a pretty good problem to have. Rotating that outfield. And it's a great predicament to have in trying to get those guys at bats. But moving forward, they might have to move one of those guys in the offseason.
There'll be some tough conversations. This is Van Slyke's 5th stint with the big club this year. Nice off-speed pitch.
There's the good breaking ball from Robbie Erlin.
And Van Slyke goes down for the first out of the inning.
Let's take a look at this breaking ball. Good tilt. Robbie Erlin, the consistency of the breaking ball is important.
Here's our Sequat Vacation strikeout stat of the night. National League leaders. Most strikeouts by pitchers in the month of September. Padres top the leaderboard with 160. The Cashner Rossick Company have certainly thrown up some numbers. Bert Smith in there as well. Good strikeout totals.
Great performances on the road. Andrew Cashner, Bert Smith.
The Padres having a good month of September overall, too, as you check out Birch.
Tyson Ross. Outstanding effort. Andrew Cashner almost threw a no-hitter in a perfect game against Pittsburgh. But I love that start from Bert Smith. And the reason for it, he has something to go back to with a lot of success in the big leagues.
Fedorovich will bounce his ball to Headley. 2 down. Well, the Padres have been playing much better baseball here in September. And a lot of it, Mark, as you point out, is due to the pitching. You're talking about an 11-6 record. But the team's only hitting .229 this month. That's their lowest monthly average they've had all season. But the earned run average is just a hair over 3.
Yeah,
302.
Tremendous. And they're winning ball games on the mound, in their bullpen. But they're getting tremendous efforts from the starting pitching. Good defense. Pitching and defense will win you a lot of ball games, and you have to do well offensively, but that's the cure for those bad streaks, Mike. And I think pitching, you saw on the road trip especially.
I think that's some of the starting pitching that we'd heard about going into the season, and injuries and youth taking a toll. And you've got to feel good, you know, keeping my fingers crossed, right, that everybody stays healthy, but you got to feel good about what you're seeing going into spring training from the pitching side of things for next year. Nick Buss, his numbers against Robbie Erlin, as both had spent an appreciable amount of time in AAA. Buss, a very good hitter on the farm. 303, 17 home runs, 100 runs driven in 131 games.
Yeah, the only guy in the PCL that had 100 RBIs. That is a lot in the minor league. As you can see from our Nissan Fox tracks. Pitching up in the zone. That might be on the scouting report. We talked about Robbie Erlin trying to drive that fastball command down. But certain hitters, you have to be able to elevate over that loop of the swing. There's Darren Balsley. Tremendous job with his scouting reports and game planning.
Here's the 0-2 with 2 outs.
A good block by Nick.
That keeps Schumacher close at second base. It's been interesting, Mark, to learn what you've told us about how sometimes offensive statistics are a little tough to define when you go from the PCL to the big league level. Tough to evaluate players sometimes. So this ball is flipped out behind Cedeno. He'll backpedal underneath it, puts it away. Dodgers go down. When we come back, Ronnie Cedeno will lead off. Padres lead 1-0.
AT&T Twitter poll question tonight. What did you think of the Dodgers celebration in the pool last night as they clinched the NL West in Arizona? And how about this? 69% of you used hashtag pool fun, saying, hey, it was all in good fun. They were just excited. And that's pretty much what you were saying too, right, Mark Sweeney?
Oh, why not? You got to celebrate. Clayton Kershaw, Carl Crawford, they won a division championship. And congratulations to them. Hopefully it's the Padres moving forward and they can celebrate.
D. Gordon. He'll retire Cedeno for the first out. So as Nick Hundley makes his way to the plate, I'm going to show you what Senator John McCain had to say about that Dodger celebration in Arizona. No class act by a bunch of overpaid, immature, arrogant, spoiled brats.
Wow.
The Dodgers are idiots. Brian Wilson, for his part, now Dodger relievers, is Senator. That's pretty clever right off the bat, right? Mick complained. Knows a thing or two about coming in second and watching someone take a plunge in the pool. I mean, pole. Hashtag politics.
Wow.
First of all,
it's getting ugly.
Tip of the cap to Brian Wilson. That's pretty clever in response. A little surprised the Senator would take to Twitter that it bothered him that much.
Well, let's put it this way, Mike. When you celebrate, it's an hour after. And I guarantee there were some of them that said, you know what, I wish I didn't do that. But it's a choice you make when you're celebrating with your guys. And I don't have a huge problem with it. Let's move forward. I remember in 1998 when we celebrated going to the next division round. There's Brian Wilson. There was, I think Kilvio Veras was spraying them with the hose, the fans, and he was spraying them with the hose that the grounds crew uses. You know, there's just so many things that you just do that maybe you're not proud of later, but you're celebrating.
There are a lot of things I've done I'm not proud of. Are you kidding?
And so have I. Mark Loretta, anything for you that in celebrations that you feel a little awkward about?
You a little remorseful, buddy?
Jeez, we're going deep here on this telecast, aren't we? But first of all, I want to know, are you guys, do you have any desire to braid your beard at any point?
No.
No? Quick story. So we're walking out, Laura and I, to the pregame show, and we walk right past the Dodger locker room, and out comes Brian Wilson, and Laura let out an audible laugh, a gasp. And I think that's what he's after.
Yeah. You know, he was walking out thinking, I look pretty good. I'm going to impress Miss Florida. She wasn't having it.
The braided beard, though, takes a cake for me.
It's a mistake, you think? It's a strong play.
It's a very strong play. I've been in the same uniform as Brian Wilson. I'll tell you this, one of the smartest guys I've been around. A talented guy.
Not the best barber, though.
And it's just not a good look. But he's making it work.
You know, you wonder, too, when you guys talk about facing an intimidating relief pitcher. You remember Al Roboski used to have the big beard and Fu Manchu. Does that intimidate you, or do you kind of get in the box and chuckle?
No, there he is, pointing to the camera. He knows where it is. Funny guy. But no, it doesn't intimidate you. But it's part of his persona, and it works for him. 2 world championships in a Giants uniform. Now he's in a Dodger uniform.
He's a good sport. He hears us. Are you guys talking about me? I think you are. They have the volume in the bullpen. He's on us.
He sees the red light.
Robbie Erlin squares and pulls it back for strike 1.
I think so many times there's players that you play against that you don't like. And you're in the same uniform and you fall in love with the guy. That's what Brian Wilson is to a lot of guys in the Major League Baseball.
Well, he had San Francisco wrapped around his finger.
He did.
And Hundley goes easily into second base. Dee Gordon scrambles to cover third. Was unoccupied there for a while, but Hundley had no intention of moving along.
That might be an assigned missed. I think Robbie Erlin had to pull back and slash. Nick Hundley's running. Almost that hit and run. Take a look at Nick Hundley. Breaks from first, almost a hit and run, which you can still do if you're showing bunt. Pull back and slash. Dee Gordon gets over to third because that was unoccupied.
It turns out to be about as good as a bunt anyway, so Hundley moves over to second base. Ball and a strike, 1 out.
Oh, I like the bunt here, especially with Volquez.
A bouncer to Hairston will look Hundley back and retire Erlin for the second out of the inning.
I know he's in scoring position, but nothing wrong with moving the runner there because Edison Volquez throws a lot of balls in the dirt. Well, Robbie Erlin's upset at himself.
Now that's been the bugaboo for Edinson. He has beaten himself more times than Padres fans can count.
Well, the Padres have done a nice job upping that pitch count. This will be the 74th pitch for Edison.
Will Venable, with 10 games left, having himself a wonderful run here at the end of the 2013 campaign. Leads the team in home runs with 22. Leads the team in RBIs with 53.
Edison Volquez leads the league in the cap going the wrong way.
Something to work on in winter ball. Schumacher will get Venable for the third out of the inning. Alex Castellanos will lead off for the Dodgers when we come back. Padres here is he would strike out 4 to this point, just a couple of hits, and he's matched against Edinson Volquez, who has really battled his command as per usual, but has only allowed 1 run through it all. Boy, have you seen that before with Edinson Volquez? The Dodgers now down in this 1-0 as Denorfia. Nice sliding play to get past a Drew Butera throw to Tim Fedorovich. And that's where we stand as we begin action here in the top of the 5th inning. Volquez, Erlin, Jerko, and Hundley all contributing in tonight's ball game. Mark Sweeney, Mike Pomeranz with you as Dick Enberg and Mark Grant have the night off. Padres back in action after a 6-4 road trip, taking 3 of 4 from Pittsburgh to finish it off. This is the last homestand of the year. First of 7 games for Buddy Black and his team. They'll finish the year in San Francisco. Castellanos, Butera, and the pitcher spot due up. Castellanos 0 for 1, a bounce out in the second. Erlin now at 60 pitches. Lifted to right field. Denorfia back to the track. 1 down. So Erlin continues to refine his pitches as Mark, you and Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, talking before the game, looking for an out pitch, trying to make good quality pitches as his repertoire develops.
Yeah, and I think that's going to come, Mike, with that slider, the development of the slider, and especially to left-handers. He pitches well with his fastball, especially to right-handers up and in. But to that glove side for the lefties, maybe that slider, maybe even a cutting action for Robbie Erlin.
Butera fouls that one away. Erlin quickly ahead 0-2. As I mentioned, Butera with some time in the big leagues with the Twins, but just making his Dodger debut in their Saturday game. Son of former major leaguer catcher Sal Butera.
See from our Fox tracks by Nissan, both in and out with the fastball. Robbie Erlin works the edges. If he works away from the middle of the plate, he's going to be successful.
A fan making a whale of a play. Wow. Nice catch, tip, point.
I had a tough time catching with a glove like that. Barehanding.
You know what? Social sparkler kind of loosens you up a little bit.
Yeah, and there he is with his friends. I'm going to take a sip. I just nabbed a line drive.
How about me? That's how it's done.
There's that breaking ball.
Butera caught looking. Nice pitch, Robbie Erlin. Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, sure liked it.
Oh, take a look at that break. Over the top of the head, and yes, that will definitely wobble your knees.
So Butera punches out twice now tonight. Edinson Volquez smiling his way to the batter's box. Looked like he was ready to step out of the box before the pitch was thrown as he takes strike 1.
Now that was a leg kick and bail. To me, moving forward for Robbie Erlin, that get over breaking ball early in the count, just the consistency of that, and then the put away breaking ball. I like the location on that breaking ball, but the consistency, Mike, you're not getting that first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike enough.
I think Edison's getting some grief from the guys in the dugout right now. He'll go to right field. They played him close in. Denorfia will drift back. And Volquez is retired. He has flied out to right field twice as we head to the bottom of the fifth. The first of 3 games between the Dodgers and the Padres, and it's time for our Fan Diego fans of the game. Guy in the upper left is tough to beat.
Salad. Great salad.
Great hands catching that foul ball as well. He's Mr. Cool out there. No problem.
Why wouldn't he be? He's nabbed a line drive.
2 guys I've seen make casual plays like that this season. One of them is our general manager, Henry Ford.
Oh, yes.
Made an unbelievable play. And then this guy.
Well, Henry doesn't want to talk about it, but it was an outstanding play. Coming from behind him with the ricochet.
And never spilled a drop of his lemonade. Chris Denorfia, Jed Jerko, Chase Headley to face Edinson Volquez here in the 5th. Padres fans haven't missed much since Edinson left to Los Angeles. He's the same guy, 76 pitches thrown, all over the place, but only trailing 1-0.
Well, that's a breaking ball. Still uncomfortable because it gets away from Edinson Volquez. In his last start, he had blister problems. Take a look at this. This is not comfortable. You're in the batter's box.
He's trying to stay in there and go to right field with it. Chris Denorfia having a great season against the Dodgers this year. 17 hits, 3rd most. Paul Goldschmidt atop that board with 31.
What a year for Paul Goldschmidt.
But when a guy gives you uncomfortable at bats the way Volquez does, you probably don't even want to wear spikes in the box, do you?
No. You don't want to wear spikes.
Roller skates, baby.
Yes.
Denorfia scored the game's only run in the 1st. And he'll swing through the Volquez offering for strike 3, the first out of the inning. Is the Coors Light Freeze Cam. It's brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Jed Jerko, the bouncer, the 3rd, and the strong throw from Butera to Fedorovich, but Denorfia would get in ahead of the tag, or would he?
Oh yeah, he got the top left corner. Outstanding slide by Chris Denorfia. The difference maker.
I love that interview you did with him in the pregame show. Loose guy, but comes to play every day. Here's Jed Jerko.
Well, all these guys on the Padres love talking about the other guy. And that says a lot about them. They get along real well. Kristen Orphy was so happy with Will Venable and the contract he signed. The continuity of these guys. Because ideally, you want to platoon both of those guys, and now Will Venable's looking like an everyday guy.
Jerko deep to center field. Nick Boss will take it to the track, to the wall, and this ball is gone. Home run, Jed Jerko. That's number 20 on the year for the rookie. And it's a 2-0 Padre lead.
Let's take a look at this swing by Jed Jerko, getting that foot down and that elevated fastball. Driving and getting the hands on top of that baseball. Gorgeous swing. Mark Loretta, what'd you see down there?
It wasn't so much what I saw, swings, what I heard. That ball had some sound to it. That's what they call back-legged. I'm like, used to hit him, Marco.
Yeah.
But impressive. I mean, 20 home runs for Jed, who missed about 5 or 6 weeks during the season.
Such a great,
big number.
Such a great milestone for a rookie. That had backspin on an elevated fastball.
So Jerko pops number 20. And the 0-2 to Headley in the dirt. Well, for Jerko, he is now tied with Evan Gattis with Major League rookie leaders. Boy, number 20. Gattis has gotten all the publicity, but Jerko has matched him stride for stride in the home run department.
You know, unfortunately for Jed Jerko, when he was on the disabled list, he was in a groove, much like he is right now. But you got to be very happy if you're San Diego Padres brass and the coaching staff, how this young man has embraced the game and has fit in.
The other part of that, guys, is that how Jed has played defensively. I think that it showed it on the road trip, his range. And at the beginning of the year, we all hoped and thought that he'd play an average second base. I think he's played much above average over there.
Yeah, Mark, they always talk about the range, too. And you're seeing diving plays for Jed Jerko. Very athletic at second base.
He really is. Yeah, his body type wouldn't suggest that, but he moves very well. Don't tell him I said that.
Oh, Chase Headley thought he had ball 4, but he goes down looking. Second strikeout of the inning and second out.
Oh, Mike, let's go back to that Jed Jerko swing and just throwing the barrel at the baseball, elevated. You can see that rotation of the drive with his lower half. He knew it was gone. What a great feeling.
A little perspective for you. Jed is now one of only 5 rookie second basemen ever to hit 20 home runs. Medica to Gordon. And the Padres are done in the 5th, but not before the rookie gets a good piece of an Ensign Volquez pitch and gives the Padres a 2-0 lead. 20th of the year. That's coming off a 2-home run road trip as well. So I guess when a power guy gets going, they go in bunches.
Yeah, and I think Jed Jerko understands he's going to get better and better with each at bat, and he wants to extend this season for sure. He's in a good groove.
As I mentioned a moment ago, this is the 5th second baseman among rookies ever to hit 20 home runs.
A good fastball location by Robbie.
Dan Uggla, Joe Gordon, Danny Espinosa, Alexi Ramirez, the others.
Well, like Mark Loretta talked about, he's embraced the second base position, done a nice job athletically, good hands. I thought that was going to be a major concern coming into this season, and it's an afterthought. A natural third baseman playing second base, very difficult in this game.
Gordon to left field. Blanks gives it a run and a look.
No, Mike, you see usually position changes in the minor leagues. You don't see it at the big league level as much. Seeing a little bit more now, but for Jed Jerko to embrace that just to get an opportunity for the big leagues. He did a lot offensively and defensively in the minor leagues, and this is a young man that has opened a lot of eyes.
You know, it really says a lot perhaps about the organization's commitment to Jed at second base, because Chase Headley was hurt beginning of the year. Would have been perhaps easy to just have Jed stay for a while, but they want him to get those reps at second base, and while he showed up there occasionally, spent the bulk of his time there at second.
Well, not taking anything away from Chase Headley, but some of the scouts say that Jed Jerko plays a much better third base, and that's a huge compliment.
They consider Chase a Gold Glover. Gordon flying down that line. Is Medicare make the tag? He does. His first base umpire, Hal Gibson. And Cedeno is able to get the speedy D. Gordon.
Well, Mike, we've talked about Tommy Medica in the batter's box, but I know Ronnie Cedeno has to feel very comfortable with Tommy Medica. Take a look at how Tommy comes off the base, but has that awareness to tag D. Gordon as he flies by.
Look at how fast Gordon is. He barely.
And he tags him on that back foot.
Barely does get him as he almost blows past him. Here's Jerry Hairston. He'll go to shallow left field. Cedeno will wave everybody off. 2 down.
Well, we've talked about Tommy Medica at first base. He's picked some balls out of the dirt. Looks very comfortable at first base. A natural catcher, and another young man that's embraced a position change.
Would you expect a catcher to be pretty proficient at handling balls in the dirt at first?
Well, it's a different way, because you have to have the footwork down, and footwork comes into play as a catcher as well. But around the base, keeping your foot on the bag. Talked about Yonder Alonso and his challenges at times at first. It's very hard position, if you don't know anything about it, to position your feet in the proper way and stretch at the right time.
Schumacher over the mound. Cedeno will watch it trickle into center field, and Schumacher has his second hit of the night. It's only the third hit allowed by Robbie Erlin.
Well, this will be Robbie Erlin's 80th pitch, and I've been impressed of how he's manipulated this lineup with fastball command, occasional real good breaking ball, some changeups mixed in, basically with 2 pitches. There's the changeup.
Scott Van Slyke walked and struck out tonight. 250 hitter at the big league level. 350 hitter in the PCL. Hey, Mark, you and I have talked about this a lot. As 0-2 now to Van Slyke, as those numbers down there in the PCL certainly can be deceiving.
Well, they can, and they don't transfer typically to the big league level. Like anything else, Mike, you can have confidence in the AAA, and then you have to get over that hurdle to become a big leaguer. It's a different game. They expose weaknesses at this level a lot.
Much of that have to do with the towns in which some of those PCL cities are located, ball travel, Tucson, Vegas.
It can, and there's comfortable hitting places, but that you see that in the big leagues too. The benefit in the big leagues is the hitting backgrounds and the consistency with the pitching in the strike zone.
Nice pitch by Erlin. He'll punch out Van Slyke to end the sixth. The Padres lead 2-0. Mark Kotsay, as he has announced his retirement at the end of this season. And before the game today, he was honored by Ron Fowler, the owner, and Josh Burns, the general manager, and his manager, Buddy Black, with the Roberto Clemente Award, presented by Chevrolet. That award pays tribute to Roberto Clemente's achievements and character, and recognizes current players who really understand the value of helping other people. Named for Clemente, 12-time All-Star, Hall of Famer, died in a plane crash New Year's Eve in 1972 trying to help earthquake victims in Nicaragua. So every team in the big leagues has one nominee. Mark Kotsay is that nominee for the Padres.
Well, congratulations to Mark Kotsay. Get online and vote.
ChevyBaseball.com. Send Kotz out there with a well-deserved reward for all of his efforts in the community. The voting ends October 6th. And the winner will be announced at the World Series. Kyle Blanks aboard with a base hit. Jerry Hairston tried to make a play. Couldn't do it.
Oh, good job by Kyle Blanks. Trying for that 5.5 hole. Jerry Hairston just can't glove it. It's a knock for Kyle Blanks.
Hit it hard. Hairston couldn't make a play. So Blanks is aboard to lead off the home half of the sixth inning. Here's Ronnie Cedeno.
A perfect situation for Ronnie Cedeno. He likes to use that hole in between first and second. Did a nice job on the road. Consistent at bats. Great defense. You can see right through there. This veteran likes to use that. Look for a pitch he can stay inside.
Now Ronnie's 0 for 2 tonight, but he comes in right around 300. Ronnie's played now in his 35th game for the Padres.
I know Bud Black loves the work that Ronnie Cedeno has done, especially the glove work defensively up the middle. You got to be strong. He's done a nice job, as long as Robbie Erlin right next in his hip pocket. Talking about his scenario if he gets up to the plate, probably. He's got to be happy with Robbie's effort tonight.
The thing about Erlin, too, that it's easy to forget is how young he is. And that's not to make excuses, but we always focus on the guys who are the stories. When you're up at your 21, 22 years old, that's a story because the break-in age typically is around 26 for pitchers.
Oh, good stop by Fedorovich there. But you're right, Mike. 22 years old in the big leagues, cutting your teeth. 22 years old. I don't even remember what I was doing at 22. Year out of college, single A baseball, wondering what was next. Well, he's in the big leagues in a big league uniform and competing with a 2-0 lead.
2 balls, no strikes. It's Cedeno. And Volquez pours in a strike with his 94th pitch of the night.
You know, much like Birch Smith's start in Atlanta, he's looking for that breakout start to give confidence to Robbie Erlin. Tonight he looks very good. There's Birch Smith. Tremendous effort in Atlanta. But you got to have that game in the big leagues to feel like you fit in.
Here goes Blanks. Cedeno tried to go the other way, but instead rolls it over to Gordon. And Blanks is able to move over to second base. Cedeno, good bat handler.
Chalk this up to Bud Black and putting on the hit and run, because Ronnie Cedeno knows how to handle the bat. Staying out of the double play. Good job by Ronnie Cedeno. That's your job. Get it on the ground. He gets some congratulations in the dugout. Everyone knows he did his job.
Hey, folks, if you're even on the fence about checking out Petco Park here in the next couple of days, as we talk about some of these young pitchers and the good defense led by Ronnie Cedeno and Jed Jerko, keep this in mind, too, as you watch Robbie Erlin today. Birch Smith is going to go tomorrow. Andrew Kashner will go in the series finale on Sunday. Grab your seats. This is definitely worth a look-see, especially as we look ahead to next season.
A good breaking ball by Edison. And when you have a start like that, Mike, in the big leagues, you chomp at the bit to get back on there.
Nick Hundley singled in the second inning, walked in the third, or rather the fourth. Tyson and Cameron Maven. Andrew Kashner.
Well, Andrew Kashner and Tyson Ross developing that good relationship. They're in their hip pockets, and why not? 2 power right-handed arms.
I wonder what Cameron Maven told Andrew Kashner after watching him pinch run and slide at home plate with a big run on the road trip.
Yeah, he said, "You're good. You're a good athlete, man," because he is. A tremendous athlete to do whatever it takes to win a ball game. For all you Padre fans out there, head-first slides are not common between starting pitching. Take a look at this slide. The go-ahead run. Andrew Kashner laying out.
Love the effort, but Buddy Black has said it in the postgame.
Yeah, I'd be yawning too.
We boring you?
Well, his game doesn't start until the 9th.
Hundley down on strikes.
Well, Padre fans, be at Petco Park for the final home series of Fan Appreciation Week. You can enjoy great deals all week long as the Padres show their appreciation to you, the fans. Enjoy 25% off merchandise, a different $1 concession item each day, and chance to win great prizes during this 4-game set against the Diamondbacks. Visit Padres.com/promotions for all the details.
3 games here against the Dodgers and those 4 against Arizona. The season concludes in San Francisco with a 3-game series. Come out and check it out. Love to have you out here. A lot of good young talent on display for the Padres. Erlin to Gordon, and that'll do it for the Padres in the 6th, but they lead 2-0 over the Dodgers.
Inning back here in Petco Park. Mark Loretta and I enjoying the big league ball game from the porch in the Western Metal Building. Just absolutely beautiful out here, Mark. And how about Jed Jerko hitting his 20th home run?
Yeah, 20 home runs for Jed Jerko is a big milestone. He missed about 5 or 6 weeks on the disabled list, but tonight he got that ball to dead center, crushed it. Jed's going to be a run producer in this league for a long time.
You're also impressed with Robbie Erlin's work so far. 2 rookies doing big things tonight.
Absolutely. Robbie's command's been great. He's getting settled into the big leagues. He's getting more comfortable, and he's been hitting spots all night.
We're going to work on the post-game show for you. We'll see you after the final out and enjoy the rest of the game from this great view. Make sure you stay tuned. Mark Loretta, the 2-time All-Star, has a great instructional coming your way. Little leaguers, coaches, you don't want to miss it. It's all about how to make the toughest plays from the shortstop position, guys.
That's about as good a clinic as you're going to get.
Well, Mark Loretta could make those plays look very easy from the shortstop position.
Darren Balsley making a call to the bullpen as young left-hander Robbie Erlin answers the bell here at the top of the 7th inning. He'll face Tim Fedorovich, Nick Buss, and Alex Castellanos.
You know, Mike, I love Bud Black having Robbie Erlin take that at bat against Edison Volquez and come back out. This is all about maturing time as you see Nick Vincent get loose. But he has deserved this opportunity to get out there in the 7th inning. You know, Mike, we always hear about protecting your starters, protecting the younger guys. Well, this is how they grow up in the game. I love how Buddy Black and Darren Balsley are giving him this opportunity.
A little number to Cedeno. 1 down. So for Robbie Erlin, now at 87 pitches, set himself a pretty effective night. When the bottom line in baseball is zeros on the scoreboard, you can't ask for more than Robbie Erlin's giving you this evening.
You know, Mike, I thought after the first inning he struggled with his command, a little elevated in the zone, but since then has been down in the zone, better breaking ball, and also that changeup mix. But he's getting ahead with strike 1, and he can move the ball around and manipulate it around. He is growing up in front of our eyes.
Here's Nick Buss. He's 0 for 2.
Here's that little slider. I think developing that slider moving forward, going into spring training next year. Maybe even a little cutter.
Ball into the seats. Check in with Kelly Crow. Kelly?
Well, you guys have been talking about the changeup for Robbie Erlin, and he actually told me the other day that one of the guys he's pulled aside to kind of ask a little bit more about that is Ian Kennedy, who we've heard pitching coach Darren Balsley say has a devastating changeup. And he said one of the things he talked to Robbie about is, hey, you throw a four-seam fastball. Use that same grip when you're throwing the changeup. You'll get a lot more swings and more attempts at that, and that's something that Robbie has been working with. But certainly, we've talked a lot about how the pitchers, and especially the young guys, he goes, from a guy like Ian Kennedy, he's just full of knowledge, and I soak it all up. So there's one thing right there. You see the teamwork between those two.
I have to agree with you, Kelly, and I love the fact that they made the trade for Ian Kennedy because it's another voice in the dugout. And you have to have that. This pitching staff as a whole needs to have those conversations.
Jerko will get another chance. And he'll retire Buss for the second out of the inning. You know, as we talk about Robbie Erlin and his pitch count now at 92. He's thrown as many as 104 pitches in a start this season. In fact, he's never thrown fewer than 92 pitches. And that was his first start on June 1st against Toronto. And these 6 2/3 innings he's thrown match his season and big league high.
Well, if you watch Robbie Erlin tonight, he looks comfortable. He looks under control. Mound presence that you hear all the time. Much better job tonight than in previous starts. I'm not taking anything away from Robbie, and he's done some great things in other starts. Go back to that Toronto one. I like that. But tonight he looks like he's more under control. Has good chemistry with Nick Hundley, the catcher. And now he's fitting in. He looks like he's locked in.
Well, he was locked in right there. Nice looking pitch that Castellanos swings through. Padres lead 2-0. Scored a run in the first without even getting a hit. And then a solo shot in the fifth by Jed Jerko.
That's elevating right there in the right way. Pitching up in the zone late. You can see that from Ian Kennedy, as you can see from our Southland Technologies Fox tracks at number 4, up in the zone.
As we mentioned, the Padres took 3 out of 4 from Pittsburgh before heading home. And that fight for the wild card, and for that matter, the National League Central, continues tonight. Cincinnati coming back to beat Pittsburgh 6-5 in 10 innings. And the Nationals right there for the wild card. In the hunt anyway. They beat Miami 8-0. So Pittsburgh has lost 4 of their last 5. And Erlin goes ahead and blows Castellanos out of the box. 7 strikeouts now for the young left-hander. A career high. Experience Buick Lease. It's a new lease on luxury. By Petco, where the healthy pets go. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a luxurious Lexus automobile today. Will Venables squares, fouls away the first pitch he gets from Edinson Volquez. It'll be Venable, Denorfia, and Jerko here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Edinson Volquez, boy, if I would have told you he'd still be in this ball game after throwing 27 pitches in the first inning, you might think it's probably more of a typical Volquez early mid-inning exit.
You know, credit Edinson Volquez for competing tonight. He doesn't have those 3+ pitches, but he's also been better with the fastball, thrown some good changeups. But with Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, having a bigger zone, you would expect that out of Edinson Volquez. A guy with a tighter zone, he's going to struggle with.
Sharp base hit for Venable. Venable now 2 for 4 this evening.
Yeah, the consistency level for Will Venable has come up. The breaking ball, that's get me over breaking ball. The location is not there, but Will Venable takes advantage of that. That simple approach for Will Venable is working. Credit his hard work, Phil Plantier, the hitting coach, Alonzo Powell, with the consistency and the simple thoughts for Will Venable. That works.
Well, here's Chris Denorfia. One of the reasons Buddy Black likes him hitting in the 2 position is because of this scenario right here.
Well, this is also a scenario that Edinson Volquez knows Will Venable is very aggressive on the base paths. Look for Chris Denorfia to look for that fastball, shoot the gap.
Denorfia takes outside.
This could also be a hit and run situation too.
Carlos Marmol up in the Dodger pen.
2-run lead. Chris Denorfia can handle the bat. Edinson Volquez has to throw a strike.
There goes Venable. No chance. I don't think even if Fedorovich would have made the play cleanly.
Now you can see the break and the transfer is not there for Tim Fedorovich. A good break by Will Venable. That speeds up the catcher, speeds up the timing. That transfer was not there.
That's 21 stolen bases on the year for Will, along with 22 home runs.
Good job by Chris Denorfia trying to fight inside that baseball. Try to move the runner. The little things.
Padres 0 for 7 tonight with runners in scoring position. I think that's why that statistic can be a little bit misleading. Still a 2-0 lead.
You'll see D. Gordon, the shortstop, right here. He'll start creeping inside to keep Will Venable close to second base. Edinson Volquez has already had Chris Denorfia steal third base.
Nice play, Glenn Hoffman, third base coach, barehander.
Oh, he could pick it in his day.
Oh yeah.
Grew up watching Glenn Hoffman. It's an easy play. Plays the big hop. And look for a youngster to give the ball to.
Hispanic Heritage Night here at the ballpark. Great homestand, fan appreciation time. Padres and those of us here at Fox Sports say thank you for all the support in 2013.
Great fans here in San Diego.
Good stuff on the way for you. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock, Padres Live. The giveaway tomorrow is a Padres and Cholos soccer scarf. And don't forget, you can still buy your tickets for the Shirts Off Their Backs night. That's presented by Sequan. And on Sunday, come out here, catch the Dodgers at 1 o'clock. Padres team photo giveaway.
Just got to love how Chris Denorfia goes at it. We constantly see it. We see it on a daily basis. The effort that he gives the game of baseball.
Omar Minaya, Dave Winfield. Special counsel to the council of counselors. Yeah, former Mets GM is Minaya, and a lot of years in the game. And,
great baseball man.
Yeah, both. There you see Edenson's pitch count by inning. That's another night in the big leagues for Edinson. His team trails 2-0. And he's able to get to Denorfia on the off-speed pitch. That's the second time tonight that Chris has struck out. That'll bring up Jed Jerko, who did some damage in the fifth. A bomb straight away. A no-doubter. That gave the Padres their 2-0 lead. His 20th home run of the season. As Edinson Volquez's night appears to be done. Don Mattingly talking things over. Some switches to be made. How about Jed Jerko? I just keep going back to the fact that he has just quietly produced outside of the San Diego circle. The world was focused on Evan Gattis in Atlanta and his power surge as Carlos Marmol makes his way into the ball game.
Oh, Mike, that's a huge plateau for 20 home runs.
It's a big number. Nothing. Two to nothing. Carlos Marmol taking his warm-up tosses. A little bit of action going on around baseball as the playoff picture tries to get a little bit clearer. The wild card scoreboard. St. Louis 7, Milwaukee 6 in 10, and Cincinnati and Pittsburgh its fourth loss in 5 games. 6-5 the final, also in 10 innings. Joey Votto with a solo home run as we check out those wild card standings. Washington also playing tonight. They beat Miami 8-0. They are now 5 games back.
Well, it's an exciting time in baseball. You know, the best thing, you see Joey Votto coming through. Beltran. Your primetime players have to carry your ball clubs. Paid a lot of money for those big opportunities. But it's exciting. Coming down the stretch, it's going to come down to that last day.
So here are the changes for Don Mattingly. Carlos Marmol takes over for Edinson Volquez. Skip Schumacher moves from second base to center field. Michael Young takes over there. Quick spin move, no throw by Marmol.
See Michael Young, what a great addition that is to this ball club. Getting that bench a little stronger to move positions.
And as I mentioned, Schumacher stays in the game, goes to center field. Nick Buss goes from center to right.
Oh, there's Ned Colletti, the GM for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Credit him for being very creative with this roster, taking some chances.
Oh, airmail. And that just makes it a little bit easier on the Padres, who have wanted to move Will Venable over. And Carlos Marmol ensures that that happens. Tried the spin move once, didn't throw, and tries another.
Well, just an uncomfortable throw from a guy that lacks command, throwing to the plate and also thrown to the bases. Padres will take it.
And Jerko lifts this to right field. Buss will check it to the boards and out of play.
Well, Mike, getting back to Ned Colletti, the GM of the Dodgers. A lot of people say, hey, with that payroll, why not? You get anything you want. Well, you have to be creative. You got to put people in the spots. The organization has given him that leeway, but you take a look at the roster they comprised. This is a team that's built to win and win now. Led by Clayton Kershaw on the left.
No balls, 2 strikes to Jerko. And he'll swing through it. It will require a throw, and Fedorovich is able to retire Jed.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Jed Jerko had his 20th home run. That's the difference maker right now, and Chase Headley has a chance to do a little something, but it looks like Marmol and the Dodgers will put him aboard and face Tommy Medica, the rookie.
I know the fans don't like this. This is the proper move. Don Mattingly is managing to win. Still is important for the Dodgers to win. They're trying to get to that home field advantage. Might not look like that if you look at the lineup. Knowing Don Mattingly, he understands the importance of it.
Well, you know, as you say that, we do look at the lineup. The lineup really tells a lot of the story, because it's not like those Dodger players aren't in there because of the celebration last night. A lot of them are just banged up.
Yes, and they need to be healthy. Matt Kemp, he is nursing a knee injury, also an ankle. But when you win a division championship, you're afforded to give your star players a break. They've gone out there, given every effort. But for this team to go deep in the playoffs, they have to be healthy. Andre Ethier having a foot problem. Adrian Gonzalez, everyone knows about him in a Padre uniform.
Got a tight quad muscle, he said. The thigh bothering him a little bit.
I think everything rests with Clayton Kershaw right there. He's been pushed back till tomorrow. Trying to set up for the playoffs.
No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, and there goes Headley. This ball just lifted to right field gently. Nick Buss is there. 3rd out of the inning. So we head down to the top of the 8th, and the Padres protect a 2-run lead. Mike Pomeranz with you this evening. Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Padres and the National League West champion Los Angeles Dodgers. And you see the Dodgers lineup tonight does not have all of their stars in it by any stretch, but winning is important to this club going forward.
You see this, Mike, in the standings. It is important to get home field advantage, but if you look from the Dodgers' perspective, they played well on the road. They played well everywhere. So I think the importance of getting healthy for this ball club is very important.
This hammered foul from Drew Butera.
I just got outside a changeup. He hit the barrel. Tough pitch to keep fair. As Robbie Erlin hits the 100 mark. 68 strikes. I like it.
Now Butera straightens this one, but it's right at Will Venable. 1 down. So Erlin spinning a gem tonight. We're excited about the matchup when we see it tomorrow. For Padres Live, the pregame show, which begins at 5 o'clock. It's going to be the lefty Clayton Kershaw against Birch Smith. Birch coming off a very fine outing himself. Should be great baseball. That is tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Should be a good matchup. Clayton Kershaw, in my estimation, the best pitcher in the National League, if not baseball.
And we've talked about it the last few days, whether he's a legitimate contender for MVP, whether you feel comfortable giving that award to a pitcher, whether frankly he even deserves it.
I'm not really wild over that.
Nice play, Ronnie Cedeno. Oh, and Tommy Medica just can't pick it up out of the clay. Tough play to make, but what a pick by Ronnie. That in-between hop, Medica can't glove it.
Well, watch the athleticism for Ronnie Cedeno. I think he's a little upset that he had a little bit more time, maybe even take another step with Michael Young getting down the line. But as a whole, outstanding play and an athletic play by Ronnie Cedeno.
So Michael Young will get a hit. Can't argue with the scoring there. That's a tough play. A great play if Cedeno and Medica could make it happen, but they don't. So the tying run comes to the plate in the form of D. Gordon. Gordon 1 for 3. Now Gordon's speed will put a little pressure on the defense too if he can put it in play. Chase Headley in at third. Tommy Medica holding Young at first, and Jed Jerko will have one play, and he'll make it. 2 down.
A smart play by Jed Jerko, taking the out. So many things we talk about Jed Jerko. Knowing the situation in the game. As Bud Black comes out, looks like it's time to make a pitching change for Robbie Erlin. Tip your cap as Luke Gregerson comes in.
So Robbie Erlin talking over with the manager. There have been times where Buddy's had conversations like this and elected not to go to the pen, but this is not one of those times. So Robbie's night is done. Takes his team into the 8th inning. Goes 7 2/3. That is his longest major league start.
Tip your cap, young man. Outstanding effort. Monday on Fox Sports San Diego. Join Costa and Judson as they get you dialed in the latest sports news updates. Extra Sports 1360 on Fox Sports San Diego starts Monday right after the Padres Live, the postgame show.
So the Padres protecting a 2-0 lead here at Petco, the first of 3 against the Dodgers. Their final homestand of the season. After the Dodgers, it'll be the Diamondbacks for 4. And the season concludes in San Francisco with a 3-game series against the Giants. New pitcher for the Padres, Luke Gregerson. Appeared now in 66 games. As soon as he tosses a pitch, it'll be 67. On in relief of Robbie Erlin. Jerry Hairston is the hitter with Michael Young at second base.
I don't think Jerry Hairston saw that out of the hands of Luke Gregerson. Awkward swing on the first pitch.
No balls and a strike. 2 out. And Luke continues his carving process.
Well, for the second half, Luke Gregerson been throwing that 2-seamer. You see Robbie Erlin. Great night in the big leagues, young man.
Well, Luke picked up his 4th save of the year in Pittsburgh this past Tuesday, a couple of nights ago.
He's been more aggressive with that 2-seamer. Also the changeup. Predominantly a slider guy, and it's a go-to pitch. But he went through a stretch where that was getting hit. He had to make some adjustments. Credit Luke Gregerson for going to his 2nd and 3rd pitch.
Will Venable. Right where they had him played. Will started that at bat in and toward right field, and it pays off. Padres up 2-0. Padres. Our Carl's Jr. star of the game tonight has to be the 22-year-old left-hander Robbie Erlin. Goes 7 2/3, allows just 4 hits, no runs, a single walk, and 7 strikeouts. That matches his season and which would be his career high. Robbie Erlin, the Carl's Jr. star of the game. Nicely done. He's qualified for what would be his 3rd win in the big leagues if the Padres can hold off the Dodgers. It's Kyle Blanks against Carlos Marmol here in the bottom of the 8th. Mark and Mike with you, and Lauren McKeeman and Mark Loretta gearing up for Padres Live, the post-game show on a fireworks night, Hispanic Heritage Night. And Marmol does away with blanks. The throw down from Fedorovich. 1 down.
You can see the love that Robbie Erlin is getting for a great day and night in the big leagues. Nick Hundley, credit him as well. But you got to love the effort by Robbie Erlin. Tonight you saw an out pitch. You saw command of the fastball. You saw an added changeup as well. Very impressed.
He's done everything they've asked him to do, and he's made those adjustments. It'll be interesting to see this group of pitchers come spring training time, now that there's been a little seasoning.
Well, there's room to grow. Everyone knows that. Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, knows that. The expectation level of a pitching staff here is very high. It's no secret, Mike, you have to pitch here at Petco Park. You have to pitch in this division.
Ronnie Cedeno with an out facing Marmol. It was caught my eye was Mark Kotze there between Rick Renteria and Buddy Black, and you got to figure it's not long before the game calls Mark back as he's announced his retirement following this season, or Mark just wants back in. He's got so much to offer.
Well, it's not a secret what I think of Mark Kotze. His wife Jamie, his son, 2 daughters. It's all about family time, and he deserves that.
You think he's a dugout guy, though, or a front office type?
He can do anything he wants in the game, and he's going to give back because this game has afforded him a great lifestyle. But just for the fans out there, and not to ask for sympathy from Mark Kotze, he's taken away a lot from his family, and that bothers him. This game brings a lot of joy into your life, but you can't replace that time, and I think it's important for Mark to be around his family, and he deserves that.
Full count pitch to Cedeno. He gets him. So Marmol has faced 5 hitters on the foul ball there, and Cedeno hanging in there as Houston Street gets loose. Thought he had Cedeno, but the foul ball keeps Ronnie alive. I'm wondering about Kotze because, you know, you had your opportunity there as a front office guy as well, and this time Cedeno takes a pitch, draws a walk. And so I wonder about guys who are in that position. Whether they feel like they know exactly what they want to do, or that they do need that time to step away and figure it out.
Well, they need to step away and separate them from the game because they can do that. But Bud Black will be the first guy to tell you he's a sounding board. Mark Kotze is to a lot of thoughts of Bud Black. And that's a veteran leader that you can't just simply replace. And Mark Kotze will tell you the simple fact the numbers are not there for him to feel comfortable about what he's done, but the body of work, what he's done over his career, it's an outstanding career.
Here's Nick Hundley. He's 1 for 2.
You can see the slider out of Carlos Marmol's hand is very difficult to pick up. A plus velocity guy, mid-90s. This is a closer for the Chicago Cubs, and he ran into control problems. He loves throwing his slider.
0-2. Nick hangs tough. Now, Mark Loretta was part of the last Dodger team to go to the postseason. You were part of the Dodgers in 08, and they also went to the postseason. There goes Ronnie, and Nick Hundley swings through it. The ball sails into center field, so Ronnie Cedeno scampers over to third. Nick Hundley down on strikes for the second out of the inning. Fedorovich feels like Nick might have gotten in his way. Let's get another look at it.
Let's take a look. Nick Hundley follows through, and it looked like Tim Fedorovich wanted the contact. We saw this play earlier in the game with Nick Hundley on the catch again. Oh, you see Nick Hundley, he tries to get out of the way. If you fall across the plate and interfere with that catcher, the base runner's out.
Well, here is the man we've been speaking of, Mark Kotsay. Padres Roberto Clemente nominee 2013. Got that award in the pregame ceremony tonight, and also talked to the media a little bit about his retirement announcement.
Mike got to talk to Mark Kotsay before the game today, and he feels like a sense of relief after announcing his retirement. And it's a challenging decision. But I think he's at peace with his decision. I think he's excited for what's next.
Well, as you've talked about before, not a lot of guys get to make that decision for themselves. Often the game tells you, and in some way, even when you retire, I suppose the game tells you your body doesn't want to do it anymore or just can't do it anymore. And you know when the end is there. See the check down from Bill Miller to third base umpire Vic Carapazza. Says he did not go. In 17 years in the big leagues, Mark Kotsay hit .276, playing for 7 different teams. The Clemente Award nominee this year, 1,782 hits. This is a fellow who won the Golden Spikes Award as the best amateur player, played in the Olympic team, was a first-round pick. A hitter and a closer in college, cannon arm, great speed, all the tools you look for in a major league player.
Well, he could do it all. He's not going to make excuses for his career with the injuries he had, particularly to the back. You're not going to hear excuses out of his mouth. But a tremendous career that he should be very proud of what he's done and how he's handled the game. A lot of respect from his peers is what it's all about for Mark Kotsay.
Time again, if you're a little leaguer out there, maybe your mom or dad helps you with coaching. We talk a lot about guys giving a professional at bat and what that means. Knowing what you're going to do, having a plan every time you step in the box. That's what Mark Kotsay is all about. Here's the full count pitch. Vic Carapazza says he does not go. He draws a walk, and here's Mark on what it all means to him to be hanging up the cleats and the glove.
I don't have any legacy I care to leave behind other than just gaining the respect and having the respect when I take the uniform off on Sunday in San Francisco from everyone that's competed against me or with me as a peer or as a coach.
Just leaving it out there on the field is Kotsay, and a pinch run for him as Don Mattingly heads to the mound to talk to his erratic reliever, Carlos Marmol. Don Mattingly has seen enough. Marmol is done for the night, and the Dodgers will make a change as the Padres lead 2-0. Bottom of the 8th inning.
Nothing. And sports fans nightly on Fox Sports Live. Join Jay Onright and Dan O'Toole along with Donovan McNabb, Andy Roddick, and Carissa Thompson as they bring you all the scores, news, and highlights you need. Catch Fox Sports Live nightly on Fox Sports 1.
Gaslamp Quarter. Action picking up on a Friday night. Good three-game series here with the Dodgers as Onelki Garcia takes over for Los Angeles on in relief of Carlos Marmol. Edinson Volquez started the night for LA. Volquez went 6 1/3, walked 4, 5 hits, 1 earned run. It'll be Will Venable with 2 outs here in the 8th. Runners at the corners in Cedeno and Amarista, who is pinch running for Mark Kotze, who drew a walk. And that precipitated the pitching change.
A power fastball by Garcia, along with a slider. Erratic command.
There goes Amarista. The old defensive indifference. So it's now 2nd and 3rd. Will Venable, who had made his early living as a platoon player, now getting more at bats against lefties.
Well, embracing these situations, Mike. I think that is the difference for me watching Will Venable.
Little number. Garcia over to first. That will do it for the Padres in the 8th. So the Dodgers one last crack at the Padres coming up. Gorgeous Friday, this Hispanic Heritage Night here at Petco Park. The first game of 3 between the Padres and the Dodgers. The Padres lead 2-0. Houston Street on the mound on in relief of Luke Gregerson, trying to pick up what would be his 32nd save. Picked up save 31 the other night in Pittsburgh. A 1-2-3 inning on Wednesday. Alexi Amarista is the new center fielder after pinch running for Mark Kotze. Will Venable will move from center to right, and Kristen Orfia will move from right to left. As Robbie Erlin looks on. Wonderful night for the 22-year-old lefty. 7 2/3 innings, just 4 hits and a walk allowed.
Well, tremendous night. Houston Street's got to lock it down.
Padres trail this season series 1-7, lost 9. And this ball is hit pretty well down the left field line, and fair it will fall as DeNorfia is up with it. Puts it back in, and Schumacher has his 3rd hit of the evening and his 2nd double to lead off the night for the Dodgers.
Talking about an impressive approach. Saw the 2-strike hitting earlier by Skip Schumacher. And he takes this pitch, and it kept on chasing away from Chris DeNorfia. That was hit very well.
Schumacher picks up his 16th double of the year, and Scott Van Slyke will dig in. Bouncing ball, Cedeno on the backhand. Across to Medica, 1 down.
This is when you're going to see Don Mattingly, the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, pull out some of his bullets. Adrian Gonzalez walking to the plate.
Yeah, you can hear this mixed crowd. Was a hometown hero for a while, Adrian Gonzalez, before moving on.
See Houston Street work that outer edge. It's when closers earn their money, working off the edges, locating that fastball slider mix, maybe even a changeup for Adrian Gonzalez. Fox Tracks by Southland Technology, down in the zone. You can see that target by Nick Hundley. He wants it down. That was elevated a little bit.
So the count even at a ball and a strike. Yasiel Puig getting loose in the on-deck circle. So it's Gonzalez hitting for Fedorovich, and Puig getting loose in place of Nick Buss. But here's a tall order at hand. Street ahead now of Gonzalez. Ball and 2 strikes. Skip Schumacher.
We talked about that strike zone for Bill Miller. It came into play right there. Located fastball off the plate. He got the call. See if he goes back out there.
Schumacher in scoring position at second base after the leadoff double. Here's the 1-2. In right field. It'll fall. Base hit. Schumacher will pull up at third base. And Gonzalez.
Let's take a look at how Houston Street attacks. Fastball down. That changeup out front for Gonzalez. Now he gets a pitch off the plate. And that changeup again leaks over the middle. And credit Adrian Gonzalez putting the ball in play.
So the Dodgers will have Nick Punto come in to pinch run for Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez comes in, does his job. Singles Schumacher over to third base. Mattingly going with a considerably quicker Nick Punto. As 22-year-old Yasiel Puig digs in. 95 games as a rookie. Made his major league debut on June 3rd, hitting .332 with 17 home runs. And Street gets ahead of him, no balls and a strike.
Well, with that impressive bench for Don Mattingly, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the intensity just picked up in the building. Good job by Nick Hundley, giving that confidence to Houston Street to bury that slider in the dirt.
His buddy in Houston continue to map their course through the ninth. Matt Kemp breaks loose for Don Mattingly.
Well, if you don't get 4 at-bats in a game, an intense bat will get you locked in to the situations that Dodger hitters need. Good slider.
Well, Houston Street has just been able to locate so well, especially this second half.
Well, he credits Luke Gregerson for improving that slider in the bullpen. Got to locate this next one.
Schumacher at third, Punto at first, and he gets Puig. Swinging through strike 3, Houston Street.
Let's take a look at the pitch by pitch, and with the slider to start with that awkward swing, ball in the dirt. Nice job, Nick Hundley. And another slider, and finish him off with all sliders. Scouting reports. Stay away. Throw that slider down and away. Good job, Houston Street.
Now with 2 on and 2 out, it'll bring up Matt Kemp.
Much like Yasiel Puig, Matt Kemp is vulnerable to the slider away, especially down and away.
That's where Street elects to go. First pitch, but Kemp won't bite. Kemp was 1 for 4 in yesterday's game against Arizona that clinched the West for the Dodgers. Swings through the 1-0, and the count's even now. Breaking ball down. Heater up, changing the eye level.
Changing the eye level. Easier said than done. Be careful of making a mistake up in the zone. You can see the outfielders playing the wall. No double situation. Two options, fastball out of the zone or slider down and away.
There goes Punto, and Matt Kemp strikes out to end the ball game. Houston Street unfazed and does the job. Picks up his 32nd save of the season. Getting Matt Kemp with a good pitch down in the strike zone. Boy, Don Mattingly had put out every bullet he had on the bench there at the end with Adrian Gonzalez and Yasiel Puig and Matt Kemp. But the Padres don't buckle. Let's check in with Laura McKeem and find out what's coming up on Padres Live, the postgame show. Laura?
All right. pitching staff. Robbie Earle will break down his night. Also, immediate reaction from the field, and we'll tell you about the National League playoff chase. We got the details on Padres Live next.